What's up? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. You already know what it was, you already know what it is, you already know what it will be. So there's a few things I want to share with you guys, and actually I share everything with you guys. I'm gonna be so for real. I really do share everything. If it can be shared, I will share it. Some things I don't share, obviously, for my safety reasons, and because a lot of y'all support me, or my friends talk with me, but some of y'all be haters, wishing on my downfall, don't like me, but you watch me, which is fine. Everybody's welcome over here on my channel. Everybody's welcome. A view is a view, bro. A view is a view in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? We accept all comments. We love the hate comments. I love the hate comments. They make my day because I respond. A bitch responds. I respond. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna not respond, pretend I don't see it. That's not me. If I don't really see it, then I don't really see it. But lots of the times, when someone opens that door to leave a hate comment, it's funny because I'm oh, we're hating today. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, you're not gonna ruin my day. Oh, also, by the way, I just want to disclose this. I only vape literally on camera. I literally do not I don't want to be lying, but Naz gave me this. Once it's done, it's done. I'm not a vapor. I don't support vaping. I'm not it's not, I'm not a vapor. Okay? So now that that's disclosed. Anyway, so a few things, this summer we're probably gonna have a lot of balcony talks. We're gonna talk on the balcony with each other because it's fun. And I'm a homebody, y'all. I really be staying inside, but this is my way of staying inside but also being outside. And there's construction, so you know how summer is in this city, and if you don't, now you know. I want to share something with you guys because I just feel I should. And I'm not gonna lie, God spoke to me, you guys. God spoke to me, and he was I need to start talking about him. I need to start talking about him more, just in general, because I don't talk about him enough. I really don't. Nah, because he begged to be outside with me, y'all, so he's gonna stay outside. Because literally when he was outside or inside, he was begging to come outside. That's how cats are, man. I'll be in the room, he's crying, begging to get in the room. I let him in the room, then he's crying and begging to get out. I don't want the door open, man. It's gonna stay shut. So either pick a side and stand on it. You know what I mean? Stand on the side that you're choosing, because once it's closed, it's closed. Okay, anyway, so back to the point of this video. God spoke to me, and the thing is, God's always speaking to me. I've always spoken to God in my life. I've always had him in my life. And when I was younger, I would go to church and stuff. But as you get older, you get busier and stuff, and that's not an excuse, but I'm just saying, you do get busier, and this ends up happening. You get farther away from God. I feel most of us, our parents introduced God into our lives when we were younger, and then somehow we drifted away or whatever. We learned about life, and oh, life's not fair, blah blah blah, this and that, whatever. And you get farther away from God. And honestly, I've been receiving a lot of signs, crazy amount of signs. So I just want to share some with you. So I can't so basically, I'm not gonna say where I was, but someone's been leaving me notes, and I don't know if it's maybe it's a coincidence, and it's two, it was different people, and it was just a coincidence that I got them. I don't know if they were going around just putting this randomly to everybody. I don't know if it was directed to me. I do not know, but all I know is this was definitely a sign from God. God himself for sure was yo, leave this here for sure. And the first note I got, hey y'all, and this was crazy. So the first note that I got, I put it in this little book here, was this. Okay, God is writing me notes, y'all, through somebody, for real, because this is God. This is literally God. This is God for real. So, and if you don't believe, you don't have to watch the videos that I'm gonna talk about God. You don't have to believe. I'm not shoving him down your throat. But I will tell you, if I don't share this, I'm not doing what God intended me to do. Like God, when you find God and God speaks to you and comes to you, once he speaks to you and touches you and changes your life, he wants you to spread the good news. Not me sounding like a little pastor for real, but I'm serious. Like, he wants you to speak his word, and he wants you to help somebody else out by sharing his word and sharing about God, because when they find God, their life gets better. Like, you are making people's lives better when you talk about God, when you share about God, and you know that God literally changes lives, and you share about it. That's what he intended you to do. It's selfish to know what God can do for you and to not share. That's not what God intended. So this note was like, Jesus is the only way to heaven. Website, Leganese.org. YouTube video, What is Saving Faith by R.C. Sproul. Okay, this is it. Like, it was this. I wrote the date too that I got it. So this is a little bit ago, but yeah, I got this. I'm sure like lots of people would get this note and maybe throw it out, not pay attention to it. I actually did look at the video. It was like this older guy speaking about, like, you know, how God is, you know, the way to heaven. And recently, like, you know, I mean, I've always believed in like heaven and hell, but sometimes it's easier not to believe. It's easier to be like, I want to sin, so I'm not going to believe in hell. Like, what is hell? Like, maybe when we die, it's just nothing. Like, we don't know. Like, the thing is, we don't know what it is where we go when we die. We don't know. Like, I don't know. And like, I don't like to think about death anymore, because when I used to think about it when I was younger, it scared me, because like, I got really scared of dying. Like, I had a little phobia of dying, because I'm like, oh my god, like, where do we go when we die? Our parents are gonna die, everyone's gonna die, and you get like scared, and you're like, wow, this, like, it's depressing. Sometimes it's like, I don't even want to do anything in this life because we're all gonna die, and it makes you depressed, and you're like, what's the point? Like, and then you start like thinking, what's the point of life? Like, what is the point? Like, you know, we're all gonna die. And that's the one thing that's for certain. So like, we don't know for sure about heaven and hell, but you know you're gonna die, and you know you're not gonna be on this earth anymore. You don't know where you go. You don't know if you get reincarnated. You don't know. So it's like, what is the harm in believing? But you know, you're supposed to believe for the right reasons too. Like, you're not supposed to believe just because I don't want to go to hell. You're supposed to believe because, like, you know what the right thing to do in your heart is. Like, we know right from wrong. Regardless if there's no God, we know right from wrong. Like, robbing someone on the street, you know that's not right. You know that's wrong. Like, you know that's wrong in your heart. Like, you should know that that's wrong. And, you know, you don't necessarily need God to know what the right thing to do is, you know? Like, you do need God. Like, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. You do need God. But I'm just saying, like, from right from wrong, it's not like, you know. So, like, what's the harm in, like, trying to be a good person? And some people are like, well, we're all gonna die anyway. Like, I'm only gonna care about myself. And that's just, like, that's just your soul. Like, that's just your soul. And, like, generally, like, I don't know. When I do good things and stuff, like, I feel better. Like, I honestly feel better. Like, you're just happier. Because when I didn't have God, you guys, and, like, I am going to talk a little bit about my relationship with my ex, and then this current relationship that I'm in. Like, I'm going to talk a little bit about my, my ex, like, my past relationship, not because, like, I'm stuck on it or I'm dwelling on it. Like, I'm really, when I tell you I'm off it, I'm off it. Like, it's done and over with for real. Like, I'm over it. I'm over the situation. But the thing is, that is my testimony. So, like, when I speak about stuff, obviously your past comes up, because it's like, what path did you go on that led you to where you are now? And unfortunately, like, you know, that is my past, and I don't mean to bring him up or anything, but it's just like a part of, like, my testimony. So I just wanted to share, like, when I was going through a rough time, like, okay, so when I was in the relationship with my ex, I definitely drifted away from God. Like, I definitely drifted away from God. Like, not, and it's not because of my ex or anything. It was nothing to do with him. It's like, before I even met him, I was so far away from God. Like, so far. Like, I was doing things that only were for myself, selfishly. And I was only really, like, about, like, getting some money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was, like, whatever, borderline, like, basically, not saying I sold my soul, because I never did, like, rituals it's not like when I'm saying I sold my soul as in like I was doing rituals to get money or get fame or anything, and I actually like, you know, hit up the Illuminati to sell my soul. It's just like, it's not even about that. Selling your soul could be so much as in like, you know what you're doing is wrong, you know what you're doing is not godly, and you know in your heart it's wrong, but you're still doing it anyway to benefit selfishly for just yourself, for some money, maybe money gains and like whatever, you know, whatever you're trying to get. But whatever you're trying to get is, you know, is pushing you further away from God. You know it in your heart. That's kind of like selling your soul. Like, you know in your soul that you're going closer to, like, maybe you don't want to believe in, like, you believe in God, but you don't want to believe in hell because, you know, you're scared of going there. And just because you don't believe in something doesn't mean it don't exist, you know. Sometimes it's better just to pretend it doesn't exist so that you're not dwelling on or thinking about it, and what you're doing like doesn't seem as bad. You're like, well, when we die it's just gonna be nothing. You don't know. We don't know. But yeah, so I was really far away from God, and then when I found, like, when I got into the relationship with my ex, in my opinion, like, I found love. Because before my ex, I didn't have love. Like, I was loveless. Like, I didn't believe in love. And you know what? That's probably why I stopped believing in God, kind of. Like, I never stopped believing God, like, oh, he doesn't exist. But you stop trusting God. You stop listening to God. Like, you know, I always believed God exists, but I wasn't, like, following him. You know, I was doing things like, what do I want? Like, I wasn't saying, what does God want? I was, like, saying, what does Jada want? What is going to benefit Jada? What is going to benefit my soul, and what I can do to follow God? So I stopped listening to God, but I found love. And I really do believe, like, God sent my ex to me for sure to get me to believe in love again, because my ex was somebody that I first knew in grade 9 in high school, when my soul was still, like, more pure. I believed in love. Like, I haven't experienced love, like real love yet or anything like that, but you're just so young and pure, like, you know, nothing, right? You're just focused on whatever you got going on. No guys, nothing. So, like, I met him back when I was, like, so innocent. So when I moved to California, like, I do really feel like in LA, I probably did, like, I don't regret going to LA or anything, because it did really change my mindset overall. But the fact that I got hurt, and then I, wasn't following God, and, I wasn't trusting God. I was like, I'm hurt. I was only thinking about my pain and, like, how I felt, and it was kind of my first heartbreak in California type thing, where I kind of just, like, I lost myself, and I would say I lost my soul for real. Like, you just don't believe in love. You're like, wow, every guy's like this. I don't believe in love. Like, I'm gonna just hold around, whatever, like, whatever, like, because I felt some type of way that, like, my virginity was just gone. And, like, I feel like, you're supposed to wait till marriage in the Bible, but I feel like, yeah, nobody really does that. But, like, I do feel like me losing my virginity made me feel like, okay, well, like, now it's gone. Like, what's good now? Like, I don't have my virginity anymore. Like, that was everything. And now I don't have it. But I lost it, like, at 16, y'all. So, like, I don't know if that's young or not. But, like, whatever. Like, I just feel like that is very normal this day and age for people to lose their virginity so young. But, like, I don't know, maybe the world would be a little bit different. And I would have never said this back then. But maybe the world would be a little bit different if we really try to, like, really, really wait on our virginities. And then, like, really try and only have sex with one person. And, like, that sounds so far-fetched. But there's people, like, out there that probably have done that in their life, like, really met one person because they waited for so long, and then they really met somebody else. But imagine waiting for so long and then you meet a cruel soul that just takes it and then leaves you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't win, and it's kind of sad. Like, like, this world is just so fucked up, because that's really how it would be. Like, let's say a virgin waited for so long, and like some guy would look at that and be like, oh my god, like I'm gonna take her virginity and leave her type thing. Not, oh my god, like, yes, like she's the one I want to be with forever. Like, you know, I think everybody has to be pure. So I don't know if we're just too fucked up, y'all. In my opinion, the resurrection or whatever the fuck is coming soon, because I feel like the world is really at its worst state that it's ever been in. And again, like, I don't know for sure, because I haven't been back. Like, I've only been alive for 23 years, right? I don't know what the world was like 50 years ago, but I know it wasn't like this, because there was no social media. Social media is such a newer thing, and it is making the world like really crazy. And the thing is, I can't live without social media. Like, I mean, I could, but I would be like severely bored and depressed probably. I don't know, maybe I'd even find God even more. Like, the thing is, like, so social media is like, oh man, it's windy, bro. Social media is like everything to me, but that's what I'm used to. You know, if I wasn't used to this, I wouldn't really probably give a fuck about it. But like, this is just how I was grown up, and like, we're grown up with this stuff. Anyway, this rant is so all over the place, but you know, whatever. I'm trying, y'all. I'm not a pastor or anything, so it's just like, this is just what I be thinking about. But yeah, so anyway, back to God giving me my ex. So yeah, he made me like, when God sent me my ex, I had no intentions of loving him. I had no intentions of being with him for real. I was just like, oh well, he's a cool guy, like, you know, he's someone that I used to know. I didn't really know anybody here, so I was like, why not, like, let's chill with him. And it just kind of was like an accidental thing. And I'm not gonna lie, like, he really saved me. Like, he really saved me into believing in love again. Now, again, like, God wasn't still very, like, in my life. Like, I was believing in love again, but, you know, I wasn't, like, he wasn't Christian or anything. It's not like he brought me closer to God. It was just kind of, like, naturally I just started loving again, but it didn't bring me closer enough to God. And I really feel like that's probably why that relationship didn't last, because we didn't have God. Like, no, I'm not going to say I think I know 100%, you guys, that relationship didn't last because God was not involved. And if you want your relationship to last, you have to have God. You have to have God. Like, if you want a good, healthy relationship, both of you have to have God in your life. Because the reason why, like, I don't know if y'all all know, but my ex cheated on me. So I was with him for 4 years. He cheated on me. And like, I found out like a year after he cheated on me, and like, that was like, I just couldn't be with somebody who would do that to me, because I would never do that to them. But yeah, like, I was going more on the right path just because I like loved him, and like, I sacrificed things for him, like, as in getting money and like just doing my own thing, and what benefits just me, because I was thinking of like what will benefit us, and I can't do things that would just benefit me because it would hurt him, you know. And because I loved, I sacrificed, but like, I was loving him, I wasn't like loving God, you know what I mean? So yeah, like, God took that relationship away from me because, you know, it wasn't, he did what he had to do. He made me believe in love again, but he didn't bring me closer to God. And, you know, he served his purpose. And when someone serves their purpose in your life, and they're not bringing you any closer to God, and like, they did what they needed to do, they have to go, because now you're stuck. So I evolved so much, but I was at a point where it's just like, there was no getting any closer to God, just because like, it just, his beliefs, whatever I don't know what he believes in, but I know like, he didn't believe, he wasn't Christian or anything. And yeah, and you know what, when God took that relationship away from me, like, I was so upset. Like, when I found out he cheated, I was heartbroken, right? Because it's like 4 years I was sacrificing, not getting no money, not building myself up. I was only focused on like building us as a team, right? And he wasn't thinking about us as a team. Like, he wasn't. Like, someone can't cheat on you and think of you as a team. Like, that's not a team. Like, you're cheating on your partner, that's not a team. I don't care, that's not a team. Like, someone that really loves you, really values you, thinks of you as a partner, teamwork, it's you and them against the world, is not going to cheat on you. So I don't want anyone to convince you guys that oh, I cheated on you, but I still love you. I cheated on you, but like it wasn't like that. I cheated on you, but I don't love them. I love you. Like, that's not love, because you were willing to hurt me. You were willing to hurt me and hurt my feelings and make me feel less valued just for yourself. Just for you to, like, for your gratification. Selfishly thinking of just you. That's not thinking of the team, because I only moved when it benefited the team. I never moved to only benefit myself. I never stepped unless it benefited the team, is what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, if it didn't benefit the team, I'm not stepping. Even if it just benefited me, I'm not stepping. It has to benefit the team. So the fact that he stepped because it would benefit him shows me, like, I can't be with somebody like that, because I know what I bring to the table, and I know that I love hard and I love with everything. So if I can't love you hard and with everything, then I can't love you at all. Like, I can't love you at all. I can't. And I can't limit myself, because, like, I'd rather not love at all unless I can love with my heart fully. I'm not gonna half love you. So when you cheat on me, I can't see past that. I'm like, wow, because all I can think about is like how you don't care about me. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm really against cheating in general. Like, let's not even be together if you're gonna cheat. Like, I'd rather just, like, let's just be friends, because the thing is, I can do the friendship, like, before, like, I could do the friendship, like, oh, like, hookup buddies thing, and that's not with God at all. Like, just the casually sex is not with God. But I'm just saying, I used to do that, and it would be fine. Like, there was no feelings, because we both knew what it was. We both knew what it was. Let's both know what it was. Don't lie to me and say you got me if you don't really got me. That's fine. Just tell me how you're moving so I can move accordingly too. Can you not give me that much respect that let me know how to move? Anyway, so yeah, God took that relationship from me, and I was so hurt. Like, I'm telling you, when I found out, like, I was so shocked. Like, I was so shocked, because I was so sure, like, he would never do me like that, because I would have never done him like that, you know? And if anything, I always thought, like, I'd be the one to do, like, you know what I'm saying? It didn't even make sense. Anyway, I'm still shocked about it. I'm like, how do you fumble somebody that cared about you so bad, like, that would have never turned your back on you? Like, I just don't even, like, I just can't even comprehend. So I have no idea. But, like, I really hope that his lesson is that he'll never do it to the next girl for real, because, you know, then he learned nothing. That's why I'm saying we have to teach these guys for the next girl. And that hurts, but you really have to set them up for the next girl. And if we all do that and we all play our part, then we all will be good. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all gotta do our part. I'm sorry about the construction, y'all, like, you know. But yeah, so I was mad. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, really, God? Like, I was trying so hard, like, to be a better person in general. I'm not gonna say I was mad. Like, I was just so shook and so upset, and I was like, what the hell, right? 4 years of my life. But you know what? This is the difference between this breakup and then the one that I had, like, in high school with my first time. In my first time, I was so lost, and I didn't know what to do, and I stopped believing in God. But this one, when I got cheated on, you know, obviously I was hurt and stuff, and I was really upset and hurt at first. But I trusted God this time. I was like, I wasn't angry. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't, like, angry. I wasn't like, why, God? Like at first I was like, why? You know, because obviously you question God sometimes. Like, you can't help it. You're just like, why? Because you don't see his greater vision ever. Like, you're not gonna be able to see what he sees and what he knows. So you're gonna be there and you're gonna be like, what the hell? Like, really? But, like, these are all tests. Like, God is gonna test you so much in this life, and he wants to see if you are still going to trust him, if how strong your faith is. Like, he's gonna test your faith. Your faith will always be tested. And this time I was just like, okay, like, I'm gonna listen to you, because I really didn't know what to do. Like, I thought I had it all figured out, my plan in life, you know, we're building our life together. I thought I had it all figured out, and it can get taken away from you like that. Like, everything can get taken away from you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything in life. And this goes for everybody, you know, anything can get taken away from you like this. And this life is temporary. This life is nothing. Like, it is something, because this life is the test to the real, like, forever. You know what I'm saying? There's only one thing we know for certain about this life, and what's guaranteed is death. Death is guaranteed. What else is guaranteed? Nothing. Nothing is guaranteed except death. So you know that this life is temporary. Everybody knows this life is temporary, and yet we're living like this is it. We're living like this is the end all be all, when it's just simply not that. And if you want to believe that after you die here it's just nothing, I mean, that's on you. Live how you want to live. But you know, that's just not how I want to choose to live. Like, I want to believe. I feel like when you believe, it exists. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you believe, it exists. And that's what faith is believing in something that you don't know for certain. That's what faith is. And people are like, how can you believe in something you don't even know? Well, you know that there's death, right? Like, and you know what's good, you know what's wrong. Like, why not try and be on the better side? Like, you know, when we were younger, we'd always cheer for like the princesses, never like the wicked and the bad side. Or like, you know, when you're watching superheroes, you never cheered for the villain when you were younger, because you were pure. You know, you knew which one was the good side. You knew. So, you know, somehow in this life tests us, and it wants to steer you on the wrong path. Like, that's what sin is. That's what temptation is. You know, and things along this test in life is gonna switch you over to try and follow the wrong side. That's what the devil will try and do. All the time. And it's hard, bro. Like, these tests are hard because, like, you want money, you want, like, to live good in this life. Like, you see how some people are living, and then you see how other people are living, and you're like, damn, like, this is crazy. Like, you see how people are living in countries with wars and stuff, and you see, like, how people are, like, going to the Met Gala. Like, you see it, and you're like, damn, like, obviously you want to do well in this world, blah blah blah. But how are you gonna get it? Like, if you have to sell your soul to get it, and you can't just be content on what you have, and you need all the money when it's hurting other souls and other people, that's when you lose. That's when you've lost. When you're hurting other people, you need to love other people. And you know what, I'm guilty of even saying, like, I hate people. Like, I hate people, like, before, like, I hate people, like, I hate strangers, blah blah blah, like, you know. And that's just not right. Like, you shouldn't look at people and be like, I hate them, like, I just hate people. But that's just kind of how our world is. Like, everybody hates everybody. There's so much hate in this world, and it's getting so bad. Like, everybody's hating. And then, like, in the Bible it says God is love, you know, like, God is love. So the people that don't have love don't have God. And, like, I've never felt that, like, more. Like, when I didn't love, I didn't have God. And, you know, then, you know, God sent me my ex, and I started loving. And, like, I do feel like I did get closer to him because I started doing better things with my life and getting more on the right track. Obviously not 100%. Like, obviously, like, I sin, you guys. I sin so much. I'm a sinner. Everybody's a sinner. The thing is, nobody doesn't sin. That's the thing. Like, if we didn't sin, there'd be no reason for Jesus to have came down and died for us, you know. So there is sin. So, and we're gonna continue to sin. But when you believe, like, your sinning becomes harder. When you trust in God and you love God and you know what the right and wrong thing is to do, sinning becomes harder for you. You're like, because you feel it. You're like, oh my God, I just sinned. And you feel guilty. That's how you know you're getting closer to God. Is like, not that you don't sin, is that when you sin, you feel something and you feel bad, and you're like, you know, every time I sin, like, I think, like, Jesus died for that sin that you just did. Like, every time you sin, Jesus hurts, you know. Every time you sin, Jesus hurts, you guys. And, like, honestly, like, this video right now, if I was to see this, like, before, I'd have been like, what a little pussy, like. You know what I mean? Like, she's so soft. Because I used to like to be, like, hard. Like, when you're more hard and nobody can fuck with you, you know what I mean? You want to be stronger. You don't want to be, like, crying. Like, I'm crying for Jesus. You guys, like, you know what I mean? That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. But it's true. Like, you start looking at the world differently. Like, I'm telling you, when you have God, like, you start looking at the world differently. and you're happier. Like before I was like miserable. Like I used to be like kind of like a miserable person, like just hating like because you know, you just, instead of looking everything positively, you look at it negatively, like ugh, like I could do better, I could have better, this and that, better, instead of just being grateful for what you have. And when you look at like being grateful for and being grateful for what you have doesn't mean you can't want more for yourself. You can always want more for yourself and do better. That doesn't mean you don't try and get better, but it's just like when you're just content on what you have while you're trying to get better, your life will change. Instead of being miserable with what you have and trying to get better, it doesn't work. This story's all over the fucking place because I'm just talking, y'all. I'm just talking from the heart. Yeah, so basically when my ex cheated, I just really trusted in God, and I had no idea where my life was going. I had no idea. I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do, whatever. But you know, I was like, you know what, this is for a reason, and I'm gonna trust in you. Like I'm like, everything happens for a reason. When you really believe everything happens for a reason, your life does change. You're like, okay, you know what, I have no idea, I'm so sad right now, but I'm gonna be happy because I know like I'm gonna come out of this. Like my first relationship, I never believed I would come out of it. I was like, oh my God, I'm so upset. Like I want to die, y'all. I was like over life. I'm over life, depressed, whatever. But I didn't like actually want to die. But I'm just saying you know, it's not like you're suicidal or anything. But I'm just saying like you're just like, what's the point, right? Yeah. I don't know. Like, not trying to get y'all concerned or anything. I'm fine. I'm just saying like before, like, you know, when you're younger and you go through the heartbreak, you're like, my life is over, right? But this one, I was like, my life's not over. I'm gonna pick up the pieces and I'm gonna start from where I'm at. And the thing is, like, I'm not starting over. I'm starting from how far I've came now. And I'm not going back. I'm not gonna backtrack, and I'm not gonna backtrack. The thing is, like, people are like, wow, you wasted 4 years of your life with that guy. And I don't see it like that. I'm like, no, I didn't waste 4 years. Those 4 years were crucial into building who I am today. And without those 4 years, I would have been a totally, completely different person than I am right now. So I'm very, very grateful for those 4 years. I would do it all over again, even if it was the exact same outcome, because without that, I would not be who I am today. So I would do it all over again times 10, because I love the person that I am today and right now and who I am. So, and how far I've come, how far I've come. I've came so far. So what would have been a waste is if, you know, God sent me him for 4 years, worked so hard on me, built me to the person I am today, and then I just go back to who I was before that relationship. And who I was before that relationship was someone that didn't believe in love. I didn't believe in love, and I was cold and heartless. So if I were to go back and be cold and heartless, then yes, that 4 years would have been a waste. But you have to say, some things in life are like, you know, it was a blessing and a lesson. So when something happens to you, how you have to think of it is like, what is this lesson supposed to try and teach me? What does God want me to do with this that he put me in? Like, what does God want me to do? And when you listen and think of what does God want me to do with what happened to me, that's when you listen, he starts speaking. Okay, if you want to shut him out and you're like, you know, F you, like, I can't believe you did this to me, blah, 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 I'm doing my own thing. That's your faith being tested right there. And then you start trying to go on your own path, it's only going to go downhill. Like, one thing bad happened, a bunch of bad things will continue to happen when you push farther away from God. When something bad happens, you're supposed to go closer to God. I don't put this quote right here. God is close in the Bible. It's like John something. Like, I'm not so good at the Bible quotes yet, y'all, but I'm trying. Because, you know, a girl is not textbook smart, so I'm trying. But like John something, I think it's like John 14, I don't know. But God is close to the brokenhearted. God is close to like people that get into situations that break their heart. Because when you have nobody, when you realize you don't have anybody, where do you turn to? You realize you only have yourself, but you also realize you have God. So when God puts you in a situation where he takes everything from you, then that's when you're most likely to turn to him. Because like when you really have nobody, it almost forces you to turn to God sometimes, because otherwise you just have yourself. So I say thank you. Like, I have to thank God for that situation, because any heartbreak that leads you closer to God is not a mistake. It's not bad. Because like someone that cheated on you or whatever, and they disrespected you or whatever, but you got closer to God because of it, that saved your soul. You got your soul saved. You're turning closer to God because of that guy or whatever, because of whatever situation, saved your life, saved your soul for eternal peace and eternal happiness and being happier on this life in general. Because when you find God in this life, I'm telling you, people that have God in this world are 10 times more happier than the people that don't have God. I'm telling you, they're just so, like, it's so different. Your mindset is so different. Any bad situation you be smiling through because you know what God can do. So any situation you're just like like, y'all don't know what God can do. Like, you know what I mean? And then the same situation the other person goes to just makes them more miserable because they keep going down. But the people that have God, when they hit a bump or a road in situations, they pray, God speaks to them, they listen, they're like, okay, I don't know what your plan is right now, but I'm gonna trust you and I know it will be okay. And that is the faith, I'm telling you. So yeah, and then like right away, like, you guys, God sent me this guy for sure, like, that I'm with right now, like, for sure. And like, I don't know exactly what his plan is yet or not, but I know for a fact with this relationship, if I don't bring God into this relationship and I don't have God into this relationship, it will not last. It will not last. So if you want something to last, you have to bring God into it, I'm telling you. And you know, you can't put anybody above God. So like, if you put a guy above God and you're following this guy before you're following God, God will take him away from you. He will remove him out of your life, because God will take whatever is in your life that you're putting above him. You know what I'm saying? Like, God will remove it. So if you love somebody, don't put them above God. Seriously. Like, don't put them above God, because God will take it from you and you will have nothing. And God will keep making that man hurt you until you have no choice but to let go. You have no choice but to let go. He's like, look, this guy is unholy. If he wants to cheat, he's gonna keep cheating on you and have ended, like, you know, gonna keep making it worse. He's going to make you suffer because he's not choosing God and you're not choosing God. So he's going to destroy it. Okay, and I learned that the hard way. But I'm glad I learned it, and the fact that I learned it is worth every single tear that I've ever cried. It's worth every single heartbreak. It's worth everything that I've been through until now. Like, it's worth it, because, you know, like, again, like, you have eternal life. Like, your soul is saved. Like, one heartbreak, you lose one guy over eternal peace and happiness and love with Jesus and God, is crazy. It's not even comparable. You know, all you can do is hope that they find their way to, and like, whatever. And also, God wants you to let go of any hate or hatred that, you know, people do wrong to you. Like, he doesn't want you to have hate in your heart. He wants you to be able to forgive, because if you can't forgive them, how do you expect God to forgive you? And, you know, like, I've sinned so bad, like, so much, y'all. So for me to judge somebody on what they did to me and they hurt me, and then me expect God to forgive me, it doesn't make any sense. You have to be able to forgive everybody in your life, no matter what they did to you. You have to be able to forgive them. You don't have to forget. You don't have to forget. You don't have to even be with them anymore. It's just, you forgive so that you can leave room in your heart. Because when you have hate, it fills up your heart. Like, it's either hate or love. Like, you can't have both. You can't have hate and love in your heart. But when you have hate in your heart, there is no room for the love. Okay? So you have to remove the hate. There's no hate in my heart. I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I don't hate anybody. Like, I don't hate anybody. Am I upset about what some people have done to me or whatever? Yeah. Sometimes I call people a bitch. You're a bitch. But do I really, like, hate nobody? No. Like, I don't hate nobody, and I should really stop calling people bitches. But I'm getting there, you guys. Like, I'm still a sinner. You know, I'm still a sinner at the end of the day. I'm trying. Okay. The thing is, I'm trying. Anyway. So, yeah, you have to remove the hate for God to love, like, you know, put love in your heart, forgive, And like I'm gonna try and I'm gonna go to church, you guys, and like I want to take y'all with me, because I am trying. Like the thing is, I'm trying, and you know, sometimes it's like easier to sin and you want to sin. The thing is, we want to sin. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I'm not a liar. I want to sin. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my god, like I just want to sin. So like, because sometimes it's just easier. It's hard doing the right thing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard, but I'm trying, and I'm gonna go to church. I haven't been in church in a long time, but I'm really excited to go, because, you know, before when I heard like people talking about like Jesus and God on my TikToks and whatever, I'd be like, ugh, like scroll past, like, you know, it would be like annoying. Like I'd be annoyed by it. I'd be like, ugh, like whatever, like it's too much, you know? And like honestly, talking about Jesus and God, like I can't do it all the time. Like when I'm listening to stuff, I can't listen about Jesus and God stuff all the time, but just incorporating that into your life like does change. Like not everything I look at is gonna be like about Jesus and God, like, you know. But I remember like it used to be like I didn't like hearing about it, and like that was definitely the devil like working in me for real, like for sure. Like I just couldn't even fathom listening to somebody talking about God and Jesus, because like, oh, they're so like, it just also, it seems like fake to me. It's like, how can you be so like happy and all the time, and like happy and whatever, and like, oh, Jesus, God, this, like acting like you don't sin. And that's not what it is. We all sin, but it's just like, just knowing Jesus died for your sins and just trying to get closer to God, trying to do the right thing makes a difference. It does, little by little. So like I understand if some of y'all like couldn't listen to this because of what I'm talking about. Like I'm not trying to shove God and Jesus down your throat like all the time. Like not all my content's gonna be like God and Jesus related, but I do want to like start talking about him more, because back to the notes that I've been getting left. So after that note that was left, I got this left like a little bit ago, like a month ago, like, wait, what is it, April 18th, so now it's May, so a month later I get these two left for me, and I'll put the little pictures of the pamphlets so that y'all can read it if you want to. But I really, like, I read it and I was like, wow, like these are signs, like these are signs for sure. You can't let this stuff go unnoticed. And also, like, this lady like randomly came up to me, and like I just started talking, like she started talking to me, so I was like, I talked to her, and she was just like, she asked for help on something, and I told her where to go, and then she was like talking about something with like, I don't know, something about what Elon Musk is doing. I don't know, like just how the world is really crazy right now. And she's like, I'm so glad, like everything's electronic. She's like everything's electronic right now. I'm so glad that I'm not gonna be here when stuff gets crazy or whatever. And I'm like, damn. And I'm like, yeah, it's just getting crazy, like, you know, everything's whatever so fast, you know. And then she's like, well, there's one thing for certain, like I forget, like we had a little bit of conversation, but the one thing that stood out to me is like, look at this cat, bro, like that's scary when he does that, like, oh my god, but he does that all the time, but that's scary for real. But yeah, she was like, one thing for certain, you don't take anything with you when you die. Nothing, like just your soul. Like you don't take anything with you when you die. Like people are so into their phones, but you don't take anything with you when you die. And I was like, damn. And I honestly thought that was like Jesus, like God speaking to me through her, like, you know, because she did say something like, I can't remember, I have the worst memory, but she did say something like that. So that really resonated with me, and that was before I started getting this note. So she said that before, and then I got this note, and then I got those pamphlets, and I'm like, damn, like God is really trying to speak to me. And then like when I read the pamphlet, is like, what is being a Christian, and like being a Christian but not sharing what you know is terrible. Like it's sinning. Like if you know something that can save somebody, you need to speak about it, and you need to share the good news. That's what it says in the Bible, share the good news. Like you're saved, share the good news, right? And I'm working on being saved, y'all. Like I don't know, obviously, like I'm not God, so, and you know, I sin, and sometimes it feels like I'm not worthy of being saved, you know. Sometimes I'm just like, should I just accept the fact that I'm going to hell? Like I don't know, like sometimes I just want to accept it, but it's like, no, you can't accept that. You can't accept that. You have to accept Jesus. No, not me going on, but yeah, so this was just a short little video. I mean, not short. This is a long video, so I'm not going to keep going on and on. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys and stuff. So I'm probably going to do some of these videos like here and there, just, you know, speaking like this. So that's why I said I'm probably going to bring up my ex a little bit. And it's not that I'm not over it. It's just like that's part of my testimony again. So I'm really content with my new life and what I got going on now. But it's like things about my past have taught me about what I need to bring into the future relationship and stuff. And definitely I have to bring God into this, or else God will take it away for sure. And if it's not a God relationship, then it's just not going to work. So may as well just get rid of it right away type thing. So yeah. All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. You already know. And I'll see you in the next one.
This day that God has given me, I'm not gonna waste this joy deep down inside me. I'm not gonna shake. Been stressed for so long, so stuck in my own way. So I'ma enjoy this moment. It's the day that the Lord has made. It got so hot I thought I wanna die. Blood dripping from my arm, just wanna feel inside. Too afraid to open up, so I'd rather hide. Man, I'm just so grateful that I made it this far. Almost thought I had to call my mama in a cop car. Benny's everything for me, everything I need.